And for what I'm betting is going to be a slightly different take on all of this, the Democratic governor of Maryland, Martin O'Malley, who's in town. Governor, thank you for coming.
Thank you, Bob.
Well, you heard Chris Christie. He makes a good case for Mitt Romney. What is your take as a Democrat as you're sitting back and watching this race unfold?
I think the most important issue in this race is whether or not our economy is getting better. And I think that's a difficult fact that the Republican presidential candidates are wrestling with right now. I mean, look at what has happened under President Obama's leadership. 23 months in a row of positive job growth. More jobs created in the private sector last year than in all 8 years of George W. Bush. Foreclosures have been driven down to their lowest level in 4 years. And we see an auto industry, because of the president's courageous decisions, that is now turning around, that is hiring people, with manufacturing in America actually adding jobs for the first time since the 90s. So clearly we have a lot of work to do, but under President Obama's leadership, our economy is starting to create jobs again, and we need to do more of it.
But what has also happened under President Obama's leadership is the price of gas seems to be going through the roof. It's now $5 a gallon out in California. Newt Gingrich says he has a plan to bring it down to $2.50 a gallon. Do you think, what's the president going to do about the price of gas?
Well, Newt Gingrich also has a plan to create moon colonies and lunar outposts within 2 years. I mean, what they're doing right now, Bob, I believe, is that for most of this presidential campaign, when they weren't taking hard right turns into, extremist social issues, they were trying to say that the economy is getting worse, when in fact it's getting better. So now that it is getting better, they want to switch it and say that, oh, look at gas prices, the president's responsible for that. We're part of a global economy. And the fact of the matter is, domestic oil production has been increasing every year under President Obama. Our reliance on foreign oil is down to the lowest level that it's been in 16 years. And yes, we do need to find ways to be more energy efficient, more energy independent, and if with some help from Republican obstructionists in Congress, we could actually make more progress more quickly.
What do you make of Rick Santorum's remark this week that the president is a snob because he wants everyone to go to college? He said this morning there are a lot of people who are plumbers and have other jobs that are also good Americans. So I mean, I don't quite get what that was about. Would you? What's your take on it?
There's much that Rick Santorum says that I don't really get. I think what all of us can acknowledge, though, is that in order for our country to be successful economically and for our children to actually have better opportunities than we've had, we need to educate our children at higher and better levels. So that means more kids being able to compete in terms of science and math, but also we need to do a better job in terms of career and technical education. The bottom line is that the more highly skilled we make our workforce in every way, the better they will be able to earn salaries and provide for their families. And I think everybody knows that that's what the president is talking about when he encourages all of the states to join in a race to the top. We need to give our children a world-class education.
You know, even some Democrats, and I talked about this with Governor Christie, believe that the president made, just from the standpoint of practical politics, a mistake when he came out with a plan that was interpreted to say that the Catholic Church had to buy birth control pills for people who worked in Catholic hospitals and so on. He did back away from that. But is that going to be an issue, this whole idea of birth control? Is that going to be an issue in this campaign?
Golly, I hope not. I would have thought that we were past that. Governor Jerry Brown of California, who, by the way, recently saw his state's bond rating upgraded, unlike Governor Christie's bond rating, which was downgraded. He said the other night, Governor Brown, that I thought we were past this contraception argument. In the Republican Party, there are some that would like to do all sorts of things that are outside of the mainstream of what most of us believe is the fabric of a society of people of many different faiths. And whatever missteps there might have been in that issue as it rolled out, the bottom line is that the president does believe that contraception coverage for women should be a part of basic health care coverage. And now there are exemptions there for religious affiliated institutions. And I think the president came out as looking like the reasonable man that he is on this.
Well, do you think it's good for the president if Republicans try to concentrate on social issues?
I think it's good for the president. I think it's bad for the country. In other words, I think what we really need is for that more moderate Republican Party to come back, to join with the president in doing the things that Republicans in the past used to believe made our economy go. Investing in research and development, investing in education, investing in infrastructure. These are the things that have always made us a great country. So for the election, I suppose it's best for the president if they take their hard right turn, sort of war on unions, war on women, all these cultural issues. For our country, it would be nice to see that party of Lincoln emerge once again instead of this extreme right control that they submit themselves to in their own primaries.
Governor O'Malley, thank you so much for being with us. See you down the trail.